Generative AI right now doesn't necessarily focus on the structured management of content, though even that's changing with some announcements that have been just recently from software vendors. But the idea here is that it seemingly helps all the stuff that comes before we actually start designing the content into the experiences. It helps the creation process. So let's dig into that, shall we? So we know generative AI is here, right? Is your client ready? Are you ready? Well, the answer is probably, I don't know, we're getting ready. We're getting ready for this. Yeah. I mean, generative AI represents this new tool. It's going to help us optimize a content creation process and make our client and content and marketing teams, as they are, much more efficient, right? That's the promise. As OpenAI, by the way, themselves say in their big marketing material for their enterprise product, and by the way, this line could have totally been stolen from a content management vendor back in 2002. They say, well, quote, we believe AI can assist and elevate every aspect of our working lives. We can make teams, get it, more creative and more productive. There we go. But then we have to ask, well, more creative? What does that mean? What does it mean to make our teams more creative? What is it? How do you measure more creative, more productive, better content? Does it just mean more content? Is it better, more content? I mean, we have to define productive. What processes are we talking about making better? Because as we know, for the most part, businesses don't really have a standard set process right now. So we have to ask, well, what does getting good at generative AI, what does that even mean? I mean, is it prompting for better results? Almost certainly no. I mean, do we really believe that the ultimate expression of this amazing new technology is going to be that we need AI whisperers in order to realize? No, of course not. The technology will no doubt begin to help marketers ask better questions and get beyond the current sort of tricky wordplay of getting the best answers. I mean, I'm even doing this in the tools that I've been using every single day. I simply chat with it and tell me, exactly how I should prompt to get my best answer. I mean, literally at some point, it's like Kramer on Seinfeld going, why don't you just tell me the name of the movie that you'd like to see? But then, well, maybe because creation is such an individualistic experience, it's just getting everybody on the team to immerse themselves in these personal use cases. Maybe that's it. But then how do we know which of the hundreds, if your team is big, your client's team is big, will have the most profound effect on the business? Which tool, which implementation, which is going to be the most effective for persons? It would kind of like be a family selecting a car by simply looking at their favorite destinations. So the more current trends seem to point to, and I would agree with this, by the way, that clients and helping clients get good at generative AI, well, what it means is integrating the chat based interface and automation in a way that builds on a company or an institutional knowledge base and one that can integrate into content management, distribution, and measurement technology while it creates more efficiency or scale in that research, ideation, or creation idea so that we get to better marketing creation, the content creation process. Said with way fewer business buzzwords, it's about automating that creation and assembly of messaging like a drip campaign into MarTech software so we don't even have to think or deal with it. Now, that sounds nice, and maybe that's it. But then we run into an interesting challenge, right? We run into a Dunning-Kruger challenge. Now, Dunning-Kruger, for those of you who may not know, is the effect where the very knowledge and skills necessary to be good at a task, well, they're the same qualities that a person needs to recognize that they're not good at a task. Put really simply, if we simply delegate our clients' tasks to our clients that they're not good at, well, then they're going to lack the ability to recognize whether or not that task was performed better by AI or not. And then on the other side of that coin, if getting good is slowly replacing, leveraging, or scaling tools for things that we already are or are good at, like writing and constructing content, et cetera, well, maybe that works too. But then that sounds kind of depressing to me. I mean, I actually enjoy, and my clients enjoy the content creation process, the human driven ideation creative process. They're good at it. I'm good at it. So automating that wholly or learning or delegating it feels kind of like playing a piano, but only so that we can record ourselves playing songs we already know. So with all that, it's kind of easy to see that businesses shouldn't and certainly aren't, as data show, making quick decisions on this. To me, this is one of the signals that we actually are on to quite something or something quite disruptive here. And unlike what we saw in crypto or Web3, We've seen the research basically say the same headline here. Lots of experimentation going on with our clients and a lot of desire to really make this work, but little in the way of actual progress thus far.